Good morning. Today we're going to be using stamps and creating something that looks like this. You might notice that it has a yellow background and then a blue top. This is another one with a purple background and a silver top. We're going to be replicating this, but maybe with some different colors. We're actually going to only do 2 steps, but 1 print. So we're going to be using these little printing blocks. They're awesome. If they've never been used before, then they're white. You can see that the ones that I've used before have the color that I used on them, and you can use them over and over and over. I'm going to be doing a design that's similar to this. It's a radial pattern, which just means that it starts with a shape in the middle and then everything kind of explodes out like a sunshine, and using orange and crimson. You can choose whatever 2 colors you would like, but keep something in mind. You want the 2 colors that you use to be of varying values. Crimson is a nice, deep, dark, rich color, and this orange is a nice, bright color. Similarly, the yellow for the shapes was a nice, bright color, and then a nice, deep, dark color was layered with that. This will create something that's called high contrast, and that just means that it's going to be easier for you to be able to see. So we're going to start with the color that we want to have in the background. So I started with a blue. It turned green because yellow and blue make green. Another thing to keep in mind too is when you pick your colors, use high contrast colors, and keep in mind that they're going to blend together. So if they're side by side on the color wheel, like this is kind of like the orange, and then this is kind of the crimson, but a very dark crimson in here. And the 2 are going to mix and be kind of this brighter orange. If you pick orange and say a blue that's on the other side, they will blend to make gray, a neutral gray. If that's the look that you're going for, sweet. If not, then just keep that in mind. Now, I'm going to start with my dark crimson, and I'm just squeezing the right amount so that it is as tall as it is wide, dropping down 4 little dollops. And just remember, I'm not pressing very hard, and I'm kind of lifting at the end of the strokes. Use the right side of my sketchbook. Now I'm going to start with this little guy right in the middle. You just push it down into the gel and then you lift it up. And you can use the area on the right side of your sketchbook just to make sure that the extra paint is taken off. Now I'm using this one. Now, like I said, don't feel like you have to use the same blocks as I'm using. Press straight down, pick it up, dry it off. I'm rotating, press straight down, pick it up. You can do something totally random if you want to. That's cool too. I'm just reproducing the design that I did earlier this summer. I thought it turned out pretty cool. Press straight down, pick up. This one, I'm gonna do like radial patterns, so I'm starting close to the center and then going straight out, kind of like sun rays. Turning it as I go. And then maybe making additional little sun rays out here. Like I said, you can do what you want to do. So this is where things get a little bit different. Instead of making a print as it is now, we are going to let this dry on our gel plate and then do a second layer on top of it of the orange. I think I might change this orange, you guys. I'm like, as it's drying, I'm thinking, not that one. I think I'm going to change it to yellow. And the reason is that the yellow and the red will mix and they'll become orange. Okay. Back to business. Is it dry? Yes. So if you can very softly touch it and it doesn't come up on your finger, you're good to go. Now I'm going to take my second layer and do 4 dollops. Lightly touching. And this is critical. You're going to be very gentle with your roller. Don't press down. Just let it float on top. We don't want to move that red. Okay, take this paper, and the paper you always want to put down when it is wet. If it's not wet when you put your paper down, then it's just not going to stick. Okay, use your brayer. Press down, particularly on the edges. Okay, now we want to be patient. Let this dry. I can feel that it's kind of moist, kind of damp, cool to the touch. So maybe I'll come over here and give myself something else to do. Yes, it's coming off of the plate nice and clean. And look at that. 2 colors, 1 print with all of those beautiful stamps.